All right, fifth graders. We're going to wrap up chapter 12 this week. I've got several pages I want you guys to do, and I've got it listed right down here, 526 to 530. And it starts with a vocabulary review worksheet. And I think most of these you guys would know without any question. But I was thinking about something and looked up some information about one of the most famous races, car races in the world. Have you guys ever heard of the Le Mans? It's a race that takes place every year. Let me show you the track. I guess my question, I was wondering, what's the longest racetrack in the world? And let's see here if I can pull it up. Yeah, there it is. So if you look at it, as you read this map here, it's really not that long. About 8.5 miles. But this race takes place over a 24-hour period. And this is a picture of the track. And so they make multiple laps in a 24-hour period. And the record is in the 24-hour period, it's 3,360 miles in a 24-hour period. And if you want to know how let's see here, how can I put this? What the average speed would be in a 24-hour period, well, we would divide that by 24, and that would tell you how many miles per hour a car is going on average. And I'm curious if any of you can let me know what that is. So it's not that it's a lot faster than we drive anywhere here on the streets, or your parents would rather. You're not driving yet, but not too many years away. Anyways, the race has some unique rules. Cars, they have to be turned off when they're being refueled. And that means they have to build a car. The manufacturers have to build a race car that can be restarted many times under race conditions. And that's a lot harder to make, a car that can do that. Also, mechanics are not allowed to work on the cars when they're having pit stops, so when they're being refueled. And cars can have 2 or 3 drivers, and they'll switch out during the race. But it's called Le Mans. I'm sure your parents have heard of it. I don't know if any of you guys have. Anyways, let's go back to what we're doing here. I think you guys could probably answer most of these, if not all of them. How about number 3 here? Number 3, the volume of a container measured in liquid units is its, well, that would be actually capacity, the very first one listed there. There's 1,000 meters in one. Yeah, you figure that one out. Finding how light or heavy an object means, measuring its, yeah, you get 2 cups in one. Okay, what have we got down here? So for each of these objects, give an example and a non-example of a unit of measure that could be used to describe it. So milk, what's an example of milk? Milk could be a pint, it could be a gallon. There's all kinds of things you could use for milk. A non-example would be yard. You would never have a yard of milk. A person's height. How about a foot? That would be the most obvious. Not that person is only 1 foot tall, but you would measure them in feet, 5 or 6 feet, that kind of thing. A person's height, you would never use a gallon. I think you guys can see how that works. 10, explain the relationship among the metric units of mass in the world list. Oh, in the word list. I'm not worried about you guys doing number 10. Let's see here. So now, whoops. Now we have, is it still recording? I hope it is. Let's find out. Move this out of the way. Yes, still recording. Good. This is the reteaching. They have these at the end of every chapter. As I'm looking at these, I don't see any that would be really tough. You guys should be able to do these. How about number 4 here, down under set C? It says, remember that 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. So 6.5 tons would be what? 2,000 times 6.5. Okay. Well, you could do 2,000 times 6, which is what? That's 12,000, right? And then what's 1/2 times 2,000? Well, another way to look at that is what's half of 2,000? That's 1,000. And if you add those together, what do you get? You get 13,000. 13,000. All right. This is all review. You guys should be able to do these. I don't think there's any that's going to be very problematic. I mean, you're going to have to flip back through your workbook. Although it's kind of nice. In each one, they're giving you the conversion units that you might have had to look up in your workbook. So that really kind of makes it convenient. Let's see here. Yeah, I think you guys are okay with these. There's not a whole lot for me to help you out with. And we'll grade these, of course, a week from today, which would be next Monday. And then the assessment practice. I want you guys to do those too. Let's see here. I'm looking at, again, number 4 here. It says 10 bales of cotton weigh approximately 5,000 pounds. How can you convert 5,000 pounds to tons? Well, how many pounds are in a ton? There's 2,000 pounds, lb, pounds in a ton. Okay? So divide, what's one way to look at it, is to divide 5,000 by 2,000. Okay? And, we have 3 zeros in each one, and you could really make this easier by simply dividing 5 by 2. And then when you're done, you could add the zeros back in if you needed to, but you really don't need to. How many times does 2 go into 5? Goes in twice. Okay, that's 4. There's 1 left over. Bring down a 0, put a decimal right there. Okay, add the 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Okay, the answer is 2.5. So how can you convert 5,000 pounds to tons? It would be equivalent, well, how can you? I guess to answer the question, you would divide, let's see here. I don't know if they're asking you to write it or just demonstrate it. Divide 5,000, as I wrote on the right side over there, by 2,000. All right. I mean, I'd be satisfied with an answer like that. You guys don't have to write it out. So why make it harder than it is? Yeah. Okay. Not a whole lot of help because, again, it's all review. Let's see here. Number 7. Match each measurement on the left to its equivalent measurement. Well, let's see here. 1 gallon, you guys should know that's 4 quarts. Yeah, 1 cup, if you look that up, it would be 8 fluid ounces. And how many pints are in a quart? Well, there's 2 pints in a quart. Excuse me, and one pint is equivalent to 2 cups. Oh, there's that one done for you. Okay, that's it. So we'll grade all of these on Monday and see how you guys did. You guys have a delightful week.